Hello, my name is Rick James, Vice President of Consulting at SimuTech Group. We've been in business over 30 years, focusing mainly on CFD and FEA consulting, training, product sales of ANSYS. We're ANSYS' largest channel partner. We now offer on-demand services to unlimited public cloud computing services for finite element and computational fluid dynamics. It offers 256-bit encryption for security, graphical remote access, HPC for large clusters, 60 gigs of RAM cluster nodes, as well as 16-core Sandy Bridge, 10 gigabit interconnect, as well as solid-state drives if you want that. So you can buy from us licenses, you can bring your own. We're totally open, totally flexible. So allow me to introduce SimuCloud. Cloud computing is quite the buzzword these days. What we've done is really used public cloud computing capacity to really focus specifically on solving CFD and FEA solves on the cloud graphically. Ultimately, cloud computing is about economics. You'll hear me say that a couple more times throughout this presentation. What we see right now is just kind of a graph over time. So the red line is actually what your in-house computing capacity would be, with your green line being actual usage. So you can see in this case where you're actually designing perhaps for peak capacity. At this point, anything above, this is just unused capacity. And you can see that in another scenario, we've actually got capacity is much under what we actually need, which is very typical for project needs. So cloud computing aims to almost perfectly match the demand curves and actually move big fixed cost into variable cost. Some of the benefits of SimuCloud are really agility. So whether you need one computer or 1,000 computers, you need them for a bunch for a month and then nothing for 2 months, that's the agility that we offer. The security, we can't do anything in the cloud without it being secure. So 256-bit encryption, data in flight, data at rest, we've really thought through that. The risk mitigation, we've seen where companies have asked us to really help them with disaster recovery. How do they come up with a comprehensive plan in case their computers go down? In-house, they can move their data out to the cloud and not miss a beat. And ultimately, like I said, economics is number one. So ultimately being able to, whether it's from the hardware or the software side, really maximize your software and hardware assets. From a security perspective, we see security in terms of almost like layers of a shell. So our first layer is really web access. So using SSL 256-bit encryption on our website and our portal, moving to hardware firewall, down to the Server 2008, which is the operating system we use, down to the Windows login, and even to BitLocker, which is actually on-disk encryption. Very rock-solid security. We've broken up SimuCloud cost into 4 components. So some of the biggest fees are really on the hardware hourly usage. So obviously you solve 10 hours, 1 hour, 1,000 hours. Actually the computer cost. We also have some storage and bandwidth costs, which are typically pretty small. Consulting services, if you need maybe a really old version of ANSYS installed, or perhaps you have some other engineering software you'd like to have on an install, we can do that for you. And then we do have a portal fee, which is really kind of just managing and maintenance fees. There's 2 main ways of getting an ANSYS license out on the cloud to solve on a cloud computer. One is actually buy a license from SimuTech, and we can actually install that license for you on a cloud computer and let you use it. The other way that's probably more typical is to bring your own license model, which is where using VPN technology, off-the-shelf technology, you VPN through your firewall to your FlexLM, pull a license from your firewall, through your firewall, to the cloud computer. This is not a WAN, this is just where you're solving. I can now walk you through a video actually showing SimuCloud Portal. So we've logged in, and you can see on the left side we actually have projects. So within each project you can have a whole subset of computers. In this case we have some various names. In this case we can see the green actually represents, that's actually an active computer. The gray is actually sleep. You can see also we've got some CPU utilization graphs. We can switch over and look at network in and out in bytes. So lots of data we can watch there. this point, we'd like to configure a single server for use out on the cloud. And as you can see, we've got a couple options of with or without software licenses. We also have an option of have standalone mode or network, so using Active Directory for MPI for big clusters. Then picking individual computer types, so lots of options on price and CPU unit, core count, RAM, solid state drives. We can also go through and actually pick our computer name. You can see the helpful pop-ups on the right. But in this case, we can add 2 computers, 3 computers. We can actually add as many as you want. You can just run this wizard over and over. Disk space, you can see this is something dynamically. Maybe you're doing a small transient. You don't need too much disk space, maybe a little bit more. There's very small variance in price. And you can also share this with your fellow employees. In this case, it's actually going to ping the server and see what licenses you have, confirm the computer, and then we're going to click build. And a little confirmation, and then you're off and running. At this point, once I've built my computer, I get an IP address. I can log in with the standard user login. Actually graphically connects. You can see the specs of this computer. It's got a very low-end computer, 8 gigs of RAM, dual-core Xeon. You can also see I have the standard ANSYS model here. So we're in ANSYS 14. As you can see, this is the design modeler, so graphical access using 15-bit color. Got you some standard results looking at displacement vectors. This is how you connect. I can also map my C drive and use FTP to get data in and out very fast. With SimuCloud, you get access to our portal. You're going to get upgrades. We're constantly doing incremental and fundamentally new improvements and upgrades. Portal tech support, as well as any FlexLM support. We realize getting your license is the top importance. If you'd like to get started right away, realizing the benefits of cloud computing for FEA and CFD, contact us. Go to our website. We look forward to working with you.